For those that don't know, I basically played one game for over 20 years. That's Quake, which means going into a new game is like a pretty big culture shock. And while there are helpful guides online for Apex, I wanted to give some tips I wish someone had explained to me. There are so many things to focus on, it's easy to get distracted and forget to do some really important fundamentals, which means you have to go into each game and train them first, so that later when you're trying to learn everything else, you'll still be playing properly, because by that stage it will be habit. So here are my 5 fundamental habits to train. First, moving around the map and positioning. So look at this. Say we want to get from here to there. What's the best way? The fastest? Well, no, because there's no cover on the fastest way. Unless you're sure no one is around, you want to go the way that is as close to cover as possible. So even if someone gets the first shot on you, you can quickly go toward the cover. So look at the map, try to look for cover, see if you can keep your back against the wall, and always try to get the high ground. Eventually you'll learn how to take fights in each place. In Quake, we learn to play arenas so well that we know what to expect at every corner. In Apex, you have giant maps, but there are gaps between each section, meaning you can treat each one like a Quake arena. So drop over and over at one place until you learn the movement techniques and come up with a battle strategy. Get comfortable with finding cover, being around cover, and back to the wall. And even when you're just running out in the open, think about where you could go to get cover. Make it a part of your movement. If you're following someone, sometimes you may just have to run to keep up, but still try to stay near cover. Now point 2, follow one teammate. Don't be afraid to see where they go.
Moving here. Follow me.
You can learn from them. I see so many people thinking they can just go solo, or expect their teammates to just follow them. Don't fall into that trap. Only when you're actually really good should you be leading a team. Until then, just follow and learn. And if you do come across someone that's really good, just try to keep up with them. Staying with them is more important than getting that last bit of loot. Which brings us to habit 3. Don't stress your loadout. Just get some guns, some health items, and go fight. You can spend 10 minutes looking for the perfect setup, and you'll still die almost immediately if you don't get used to the battle. So don't look for your perfect weapons. If you find them, great, but otherwise just go in. You gotta learn positioning and fighting before looting. I spent way too many hours looting to begin with, and it was seriously a waste of time. Get into the habit of just getting the essentials like guns, and then go in. Habit 4, don't panic. Take a moment to assess situations. Early on, I was so panicked about the fights that I didn't realize I could probably just look around and see what everyone was doing, then decide what I wanted to do. I mean, you can just land a bit further away from people, take a look around, hopefully grab a gun, then fight. You will still die a lot, but that's okay. It's about building the right habits, not about winning. So habit 5, don't stress about dying or losing. Winning is hard and sometimes not even worth it. Getting damage, kills and dying early is much more satisfying than only one kill and a win. It's a really challenging game, so set your goal as learning, not winning. Same thing in Quake. People like to point out my stats and say they're not that great, but the fact is, I can hold my own against very good players, even the top players. Because stats are basically meaningless, and I always wonder about the people who are boasting about them. As a joke, that's cool, but some of these guys are serious. So are they gonna be like, hey girl, did you know my kill death ratio is 10 to 1 in this video game?
I hope, for your sake, that wasn't supposed to impress me.
As always, life in gaming and everything else isn't about the start or the end. It's a journey in between, and the journey is best when you're getting better. As long as you're learning, as long as you're improving, you're on the right path. So don't stress anything else. That's all that matters. So, to quickly sum up what we just went through. 1. Focus on positioning and getting cover. 2. Learn from others by following them. 3. Don't stress your loadout, just go fight. 4. Take a moment to breathe before the fights. And 5. Don't focus on winning or stats, focus on learning. Hope that helps. Use your links below if you want to help support what I do. Or as always, check out my mouse design by Xtrafy, the MZ1, and my mousepad, the Xtrafy GPZ1. Sub for mouse reviews and Apex videos, like and share, and I'll catch you in the next.